you want from Michigan State offensively today?
I would love to see them go to Julius Marble or go to Malik Hall. Post those guys and let your playmakers make something happen on the block.
This is Max Christie, who's really struggled to shoot recently. Now through Marble, and it's tipped away toward the backcourt by Hunter, who was claiming he didn't get a hand on it. Gabe Brown got it for three, and that's a great sign. He was 3 for his last 21 from 3.
That had to feel really good for Gabe Brown. 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3 at Iowa. Just a simple roll and replace action. You got to help on the roller, and Gabe Brown the beneficiary.
Today's starting lineup brought to you by Prudential, the familiar lineup for Purdue, including Zach Edey, who just rolled it out. And now the transition game so important to Tom Izzo. Christie using the strength for a 5-0 lead.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're Michigan State. You got a Gabe Brown 3, you get a Max Christie bucket in transition. This is an offense that really struggled at Iowa, but a heck of a start here through a minute.
Purdue's such an effective three-point shooting team, one of the best they've ever had in West Lafayette, second in the country from 3. As Edey barrels his way in for 2.
He just put that right to the chest to Julius Marble. He got to his spot, went right to that strong right hand. A really nice move by Zach Edey.
You mentioned the changes to the lineup. The first start this year for Julius Marble, the 8th of his career. He gives the screen to Brown. Stefanovic worked hard to stay with him. Brown again, same spot, missed that one, and the rebound, Stefanovic. Purdue has 3 games left. If they win them all, they're Big Ten champions. Eric Hunter diving in, got bodied and still scored.
Julius Marble, you have got to impact Eric Hunter Jr. coming off that ball screen. And that show was really quick, and just not enough of an impact to deter his path. Hard for that guard to get back up underneath, and Eric Hunter gets a layup.
Just show the body, basically.
If you're going to get back quickly, then the help side's got to be there. And we'll see how they guard this game. It might be a quick show and get back, but if that's the case, your other defenders have got to be locked in. You cannot be giving up uncontested layups. Purdue doesn't need any help scoring.
That's true. Iron Mountain, Michigan's own Tom Izzo looking for his 662nd win to tie Bob Knight for the most at a Big Ten school. You know the chant of go white, go green. You've heard that here before. Boilermakers uniform.
Trying to bring bad memories. Restaurants here, Oval 11.
I wouldn't do that. You, however, would spike it home. Ivy down the lane, got fouled. Yeah, what's the biggest difference in him this year?
Well, he's shooting it much better. I think he's making way better decisions. He just played like an elite player. He's always had his physical tools, but now it's just all starting to come together. You end up making it, but you pass up an open one and make a tough one. Now he needs to be aggressive. 2 games prior to Iowa, he takes 7 shots in 2 games, and we talked about it in Iowa City. It's like you can't even tell. You haven't even taken your temperature to see if you're shooting well. You've got to get more shots up than that.
Yeah, 1 for 7 in those 2 games prior. Edey filling up his own stat sheet. Stefanovic wanted the foul for him moments before it got whistled, and now Edey, who has struggled from the free throw line. That's one question about Purdue.
That was a moon ball by Zach Edey.
That was.
Soft touch.
Yeah. Joey Hauser in for Michigan State as well. Tom Izzo looking for answers in terms of his lineup construction. Hogarth dips in. Edey clears the rebound or so, and now Michigan State takes it back. Brown, 4-3, his second.
Sacha Stefanovic making the cardinal sin of saving the ball under your own basket on the defensive end of the floor. And how about Joey Hauser giving up a good one to get Gabe Brown a great one?
We talked about it yesterday. If a couple go down early for Gabe Brown, that's a different Michigan State team. Hogarth is right in his pocket.
That's really good defense by A.J. Hogarth, getting into J90 and making things tough on the superstar.
Gabe Brown had a look possibly at the three with Stefanovic bearing down on him. He didn't take it. So Michigan State, which at points this year has really struggled to score, gets into the lane. There's no shot there, and DJ Karstensen has a foul against the sophomore Mason Gillis. Early burn for Caleb First, the freshman from Fort Wayne, and there's a takeaway for Travion Williams. So Edey on the bench, First and Travion Williams playing together. Isaiah Thompson as well. Stefanovic missed the three. Rebound for Williams.
That's going to be the game right there for Michigan State. Can you keep Purdue, who's the best offensive rebounding team in conference play, off the offensive glass? Right there, the answer is no. Ends up being kicked out. Tyson Walker, no idea where the ball is, and Jaden Ivey just rises right up.
Take that, A-minus.
Great screen right there by Marcus Bingham. Just a simple flare screen. Joey Hauser catches it, one dribble pull-up.
Joey Hauser had a big game against Illinois. 3 for 5 from 3. Is they're going to get Jaden Akins for the foul there. And
seems like randomly he's good for a game where he just goes off too. 12 against Baylor, 10 against Louisville. Also had 10 at Wisconsin.
Stefanovic looking for a 2. Here comes Akins. Oh boy. Bingham and Williams.
He's sitting on that left shoulder.
And he was sitting on it the second time as well.
That's got to be the scouting report. Well done by Marcus Bingham.
Tyson Walker, who was really shot-seeking a week ago here against Illinois. He could be a big part of their offense for Michigan State, the transfer from the Colonial.
Look at that rotation. That was really good. Rotate to Bingham, you get to Walker, and then you get to Christie in the corner. That was really well executed by Purdue.
For a team that had been pretty well maligned defensively.
And you know what? That's been an area where they've struggled. And post-trap, and even in situations where they've got to rotate, they have not been great at finding people. Good hands right there by A.J. Hogarth.
Tom Izzo can't believe that's not Michigan State ball. He thought it went off of Ivey.
Tough angle there. I'm not sure if that went off Ivey or not.
Yeah, that's under 2 minutes. That definitely goes to review. Ivey turns it over again.
What a pass.
Walker in transition for 3.
What a pass by A.J. Hogarth. Reading that defense in transition, taking what they give him, and setting up Tyson Walker for a wide open shot from the right wing.
Byron.
You know what? A.J. Hogarth and Max Christie, when they're on the floor together in these last 6 games, Michigan State has made 46% of its three-point attempts. That's according to hooplens.com.
Great point, Myron. Ivey for 3, no good. Williams the tap, and Michigan State ball. That last sequence was everything Tom Izzo told you before the game he was looking for.
Trying to give this offense a spark. It was a lifeless effort at Iowa, and it's been a totally different deal here this afternoon.
Thompson the double, forced a tough pass. Christie against First, tried to wrestle his way by and got a foul. A spirited first 8 minutes from Michigan State and the crowd. Couple of cuts led to an open 3 for Walker, who missed it. Purdue had eyes on Christie, but not Walker, and First nearly traveled. Up top of the Big Ten with Wisconsin as Ivey is fouled on his way to the rim. Jaden Ivey very good at finding his way to the free throw line. 1 for 2. Rebound for Christie, and they want to push. Those two Myron talked about. Hogarth and Walker. With Christie in the backcourt. Stayed right with it. 5 to go. It's Hogarth. Step back against Williams. 4-3. He was awesome in their opener against Kansas with 17. If he's going to score like that, another new dynamic.
He's just been so up and down scoring the basketball. The assists have been there. You look at his last 4 numbers, 4, 15, 0, and 14. It's been hit or miss scoring, but that's a great sign to see him make that 3. And on the other end, Travion Williams, you let him get right jump hook, it's going to be a long day. You have got to make him go over that other shoulder.
He had the game winner here last year in a grinder, 55-54. Hogarth, heavy, nice job recovering. The Flintstones.
Yes.
That title. Edey gets into the paint and scores. Speaking of middle school, by the way, typically during Purdue week, they'll show games in the office. And Tom Izzo had the games on loop. This is you from a Purdue-Michigan State game.
Yeah, I was sick and didn't play.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Looks a lot like middle school. I'm glad you said middle school. You got the bowl cut.
I weighed 195 pounds.
That's a great look, though. People go to the barbershop and they say, give me 2011 Robbie Hummel.
That's a terrible haircut.
Edey, 4 in a row.
Back-to-back possessions where Purdue's just jammed it inside, and he gets good position. It's pretty much over with. You're asking a lot of Julius Marble. Going to be interesting to see, does Michigan State stay one-on-one in the post? Against Kofi Coburn, and Illinois is a pretty good litmus test because they surround him with shooters. Early on, it was pretty straight up. They started digging when he turned his back on the bounds. End of game, it was Joey Hauser guarding him, and they had to send doubles.
Walker over Edey. Ball down on the deck, and it spits out to Michigan State.
It's going to be a shot clock violation. The clock barely went off. I think the horn sounded shortly, but it was a shot clock. Above 40% from 3 on the year.
All right, so here is Edey. He's all alone with Bingham. Still all alone on the turn.
It's got to be a
got
foul.
hit. It was.
You can just see, I mean, Marcus Bingham is fighting for his life down there. Trying to post a guy like Zach Edey. He's not going to be able to move him.
Great play by Walker, who had Edey bearing down on him to screen him. He dodged that and picked the pocket.
That's the defensive player of the year in the Colonial from last season before he came over to Michigan State. And he'll take your ball now. That's a really good defensive player.
Edey way out high. Here is Eric Hunter Jr. And again, a hand on it.
You cross over in front of him, you are at risk of having that thing taken from you.
Gillis, little soft double from Hall, let him come out and close out. And it's going to be Purdue basketball. Sissoko now picked it away.
Tom Izzo is going to send the kitchen sink of big guys at these Purdue bigs today. But once again, Edey getting position and getting to that right hand.
Quote, Jaws, they're going to need a bigger boat. Hogarth, late shot clock. This is Christie, the freshman from the Chicago suburbs. Who scores? 7 points a game, his last 7. Christie 4 early today.
He's a big-time talent, and it's just been one of those deals where you've hit a little bit of a freshman wall. They're going to need him today because he's a guy that can make shots, can get it off the bounce.
Matt Painter, Purdue head coach, who grew up loving sports in part because of the big red machine.
Look out. And stuffs it home. I went back and looked to see when the last Gabe Brown back cut was, because he hasn't gotten a lot of that the last 4 or 5 games, and I was surprised. It's actually been 7 games since against Michigan, and right there, finally, he finds an easy one out of that corner.
Edey got hooked by Sissoko. 7 games, huh?
7 games. So I was like, man, I feel like we've seen no Gabe Brown runouts and no Gabe Brown back cuts. And when you're guarding him in the corner, you've got to have an idea that he wants to back cut you. Sasha Stefanovic gets caught watching the basketball. And all of a sudden, Gabe Brown's putting it on a poster.
Isn't it amazing what one shot going down early
it changes the game. It changes your energy, and it shouldn't. But for guys that are shooters, it's just the way it is.
Stefanovic.
Look at that chase. I mean, Gabe Brown was glued to his hip.
That curl has not been there all day. Williams misses and the rebound for Michigan State. Up ahead, Christie. That's Gillis, and that's the second against Mason Gillis for Purdue.
Rotate to him.
Christie, another 3 for Michigan State.
That's the first time we've seen Purdue really break down where that post trap has come and nobody rotates over to Max Christie.
The end zone is fierce today. This is rolled out of bounds and another unforced Purdue turnover. Look at the spring in the step for Gabe Brown today. Rebound battle. Sissoko. Oh, goodness gracious. Michigan State is giving absolutely everything to this crowd right now. Michigan State by 7 now. Purdue turns to Ivy, and there is a whistle against Michigan State called by Larry Scarano. First one is there. Gabe Brown, that's a really tough shot. Christie goes soaring, and this is out of bounds to Purdue. Ivy on the gas pedal. Goodness, can he turn the corner? He's like an open wheel driver.
He just comes off of that handoff, and it's just an explosion to that right hand. And Matt Painter does such a good job of getting him to his strengths.
Nearly taken away. Sissoko goes down to the deck, and we got a timeout. Michigan State. Michigan State by 4, now 2, first on the back end.
Boy, how good was that? Designed by Matt Painter, coming out of a timeout to get a back screen. Now you don't find your man. You get Michigan State out in transition. That's a real break for Purdue because they had no idea who they were guarding in transition right here. Now watch Ethan Morton just sneak right up here. It's a little screen for the screener action. Eric Hunter over the top. Caleb Firth with the back screen. Really well designed by Purdue.
Somehow with Michigan State playing so well in the first 17 minutes or so, Purdue is within 2.
Good defense by A.J. Hogarth. Kept Ivy away from that right hand, then just took his ball.
And then took it all the way to the rack. Williams and Marble trying to duck baseline. Williams left it short. Good defense from Marble. And this is out of bounds to the Boilermakers. Michigan State coughed up 86 points on Tuesday. The defense has been so much better.
Look at how much time's that. It's time and space. I mean, the whole side of the floor is totally cleared out for them. No double coming. He knows he can get to his strong suit.
Zach Edey has been awesome with 13 this afternoon so far. Hauser rips it for three.
It's all made, though, by Gabe Brown. He's flying off the pin down. You see two defenders, the action's behind you, and he throws it back and sets up Joey Hauser.
Gabe Brown's been outstanding.
Yes, he has.
Half here.
And good for him, because he's a guy that's paid his dues in this program and was having a really good year, but has just been hit by a massive slump.
Refeed. Hauser never came, and they're going to get a turnover going the other way. Marble the screen for Hogard. Back to Marble. Into Edey.
How about the patience, though? A.J. Hogard exploring that painted area. He goes all the way across that paint, almost like a misdirection action. And Matt Painter wants to talk it over.
There's the lob, and it's Edey on the flush to mangle the rim.
Boy, the back screen again. Matt Painter has made a living this season off setting really good back screens in the half court, and that's exactly what they do there. They get Zach Edey on that backside.
Matt Painter's become Sean McVay in his out-of-timeout calls. Brown missed it wildly. This is off Purdue. Hauser, no. How about the transformation of Matt Painter into an offensive guy?
He's really become an offensive-minded coach, and when I played for him, it was much more heavy defense. But you can just see how he is really taking what's worked at the NBA level, at the college level, and he has transformed himself into what I think is one of the better offensive minds in the college game.
Edey well away from the basket. Arms locked with Marble, arm to arm, and they're going to get another offensive foul on Edey. That's his second.
I thought it should have been a foul on Marble early. Wow.
Well, there it is. Good spacing this possession for Purdue. Stefanovic.
They've really done a nice job on him. It feels like we have not called Sasha Stefanovic's name hardly at all this afternoon.
Hogard is fouled. Stefanovic stuck on 212 threes in 8th place in Purdue history. Hogard missed the front end of the 1-and-1. So now Purdue can basically hold for the final shot of a rough and tumble first half at East Lansing. Ivy comes to get it. Hogard's got him. Ivy, pitch into the corner. It's Hunter. And he is hit and fouled. Tyson Walker on the closeout.
Oh, what a play by Ethan Morton.
Stefanovic. No. We go. If Purdue wins out, the Boilermakers are Big Ten champions 2022. Edey on the backside got two more.
Well, nice play out of halftime right there. Purdue going to that Spain action where Sasha Stefanovic is going to back screen Zach Edey's man and just send him to the basket. The lob was there and Edey able to convert.
Matt Painter has been lethal out of timeouts, out of breaks, out of halftime offensively.
They are trying to throw that ball into Malik Hall, and Mason Gillis doing a nice job of being in 3 quarters and keeping the ball out of the post.
Stefanovic hip to hip with Christie.
Great defensive possession by Purdue. I mean, you keep Malik Hall off the basketball, you get a good contest, and you finish it with a defensive board.
Myron, you talked to Matt Painter.
Yeah, Matt Painter talked about Zach Eady watching the foul trouble. Just because someone puts a body on him, he can't return fire, can't put that force in return. That's going to be a foul every time. So he just wants him to be cautious how he plays.
Eady went down to the floor, couldn't pluck the basketball. So Hogard trading paint into the front court, and that's an offensive foul. Shows exactly how difficult it is to officiate. We get a second look at it. No.
Oh, look at Gabe Brown. He just blew up that play. The same back screen we saw in the first half. This time Gabe Brown is ready for it. There's physical contact. He gets in the line of Zach Edey and ends up being a turnover.
Max Christie on the move. Edey got the hand up. Not a great shot blocker, but a great shot alterer.
He altered that for sure. It just gives you something to think about. You got to put some extra arc on it, and that's the reason why instead of a layup, that ends up being a tough contested floater.
Ivy skidding through the lane.
Twice now, where Purdue guard should have just scored the ball.
Brown in transition got fouled, and that's going to be 3 on Mason Gillis. You know, it's not a huge discrepancy, but you see in Michigan State's losses, their 9 losses, he has not scored at the rate that he's scored in the wins.
He must not have danced before the game tonight. He's playing good.
I mean, take care of that focus.
Yeah.
Edey into Bingham, and nice defense by Bingham, holding up against the tall Zach Edey. Hogard probing. Oh, Hall should have maybe given that up to Gabe Brown. Now he's trapped. This is a mess of a possession for Michigan State.
All it takes is one guy to make it right, though.
And that guy is not Tyson Walker. I was ready for both. Edey the screen. Ivy got fleeced. Bingham got the hand in. And now the race is on with Hogard. And he scores.
Multiple times now where we have seen Jaden Ivey stripped by A.J. Hogard. He has had active hands. I think Matt Painter's going to call a timeout.
And Matt Painter, by the way, was talking about the Breslin Center yesterday at Purdue practice. He was talking about getting a recruiting visit here when it was just dirt. Breslin Center didn't even exist. Up ahead, transition again for Hogard and Michigan State.
That's a couple possessions in a row now where Marcus Bingham has had such an impact. He strips Jaden Ivey here on the block. He's blocked Edey twice in the second half. He has really given some resistance in the post, and in the first half, Edey had his way. Marcus Bingham has played really well in the second.
You got to be a really tough dude to battle with Edey all night long. And now Brown again hip to hip with Stefanovic.
They're going to get for 3 in the key. I just think Michigan State right now is doing so many good things. You know, they're only getting out rebounded by 4, so you're hanging in there, and that's certainly a danger zone when you play Purdue. That they've held them to just 5 3-point field goals attempted, and they've blitzed them in the fast break. They've kept Jaden Ivey out of transition.
That was not a great possession for Michigan State there. Walker had to heave up a late shot clock 3, and it leads to Ivey in the open court for 2 and a foul.
Man, he missed Marcus Bingham. There was 2 on the ball and nobody coming over. Bingham was all by himself at the rim.
First with Hauser. Now Williams against Bingham. First with the double. Step through.
That trap really bothered him now. Purdue has got to come up with that loose ball, and Hauser's got to get a shot up.
And he scores!
That's the basketball gods right there. You get a gift and you don't take it, they're going to make you pay. And how about the presence of mind of Joey Hauser to get that thing up?
How did Eric Hunter not end up with that basketball?
Good cut.
Sasha Stefanovic on a goaltend will get 2.
He slips that pin down. You're so worried about Jaden Ivey coming off.
Hogard. Such a great visual path of the court. His vision is exceptional, and there is Marble on the stuff.
And Isaiah Thompson, he gets held up in that screen, and he just never gets back up underneath, and that means Trevion Williams has got to hang in there. It's tough on that help side defender because you want to get back to your man, but Thompson's got to do a better job of getting back up underneath the ball handler.
That's off of Ivy, and it's out of bounds. A.J. Hogard has really affected Jaden Ivey today.
Yes, he has, and it's been on both ends of the floor. Here you see in pick and roll, he finds Julius Marble for the slam, and you see Caleb First feels like he's in such a bind because Joey Hauser's raising, and he's got to be that help guy.
Hogard, they drop off him. He missed the two of the rebound for First. See if Ivy can get untracked here. Little stutter step. Hogard's right there with him, shoulder to shoulder. Ivy against Hogard, and he rolled it in.
Michigan State's just building that wall. I mean, they are showing bodies at Jaden Ivey, but he just finds a way. That's a tough shot by a guy that's going to be a pro here very soon.
I mean, what else can you do if you're Hogard there?
You tip your cap.
Marble and Williams. First the double again. Can't see anybody.
That steal too. And Purdue has had some opportunities here. And I thought Isaiah Thompson could have shot right through there, but going the other way.
Williams clanging off of Marble to score. Trevion Williams.
That's that counter move because Marble is sitting on the left shoulder. Trevion Williams still goes right hand, but he can get back there.
B.J. Karstensen has a foul, and it's Gillis, and that's his fourth. Gabe Brown steps into it and knocks it down.
But it's the pass by Tyson Walker. It's just a missile across the floor. He's coming across off that ball screen, and it's the weak side that's going to be open. Stefanovic has got to be in. It's a beautiful pass from Tyson Walker.
When these two delivery men, Walker and Hogard, are playing well, Michigan State is really tough to beat. Marble.
That's his deal.
No.
I mean, he has been the long two king. And while a lot of guys for Michigan State have really struggled, he has thrived.
How about that? Big dude steps out, and he's willing to do it. We've seen it this year. He hasn't made a three, but the long two. That's a travel. Trevion Williams changed his pivot foot.
Oh, that should have been a foul, too.
It looked like Ivy got him on the arm. Hunter on the drive. Wild shot, dangled and missed.
But look at where he got Trevion Williams. I mean, he buried him in that charge arc. And all of a sudden, this Purdue defense has really struggled to get stops. Michigan State is in such a rhythm on this end of the floor.
Largest lead of the game for the Spartans. Touch passing to end up with Ivy for three. No. Rebound for Hauser. Michigan State, which put up 60 points in a toothless effort Tuesday night in Iowa City. Revving the engine offensively today. Marble.
He's
got by Williams.
Yes, he did. About the job he's doing before he catches the ball. I mean, that's back-to-back possessions. It's one where if you're Jaden Ivey, you just got to be solid.
Thompson and Hunter both cut up top. This is Hunter with 7. He got to the same spot and scored again.
Getting to the rim. And how about the job of Zach Edey holding off Julius Marble so the help defense could not be there.
Eric Hunter in his final season at Purdue, senior out of Indianapolis, streaking toward the finish line of a long Boilermaker career. Down into the post, and Hauser wasn't ready for the cross lane feed.
I think really getting Eric Hunter back into that starting lineup. His numbers, 9 starts, have really been impressive. 9 points a game, 56% from the field, 54 from 3, and that's compared to the games, 19 of them where he came off the bench, just 40% from the field and under 4 a game.
I mean, he was a big-time scorer in high school. He's the all-time leading
like 3,000 points in Indianapolis. It's insane.
County's leading scorer as he nearly traveled there.
Think about how many good players have come out of Marion County. I mean, that's the Indianapolis area. You're talking about some studs.
Hogard got the hands on Ivy, and we get a Michigan State foul. A.J. Hogard has expended a lot of physical energy on Ivy today.
He's going to sleep well tonight. The thing is you think you've done your job, but Jaden Ivey is just continuously looking to get downhill.
Well, he leans on you.
You think you've got him contained, and the job is not done until he gives the ball up.
And it's not done for another 8 minutes, too. I mean, he could spark a rally.
Eric Hunter's making plays out here.
Edey got it for 2 and a foul as he snuck behind from Hunter.
Eric Hunter's gotten 2 layups, and now in pick and roll, he ends up finding Zach Edey rolling to the rim, and all of a sudden, Purdue has made 7 of their last 9 field goals. This pass is phenomenal. I think if you're Gabe Brown, you've got to hang around a little bit, kind of bump Edey as he comes in. You've got Isaiah Thompson who's making his way out. It feels like both teams are just rolling and replacing each other into oblivion here today.
Just roll and replace.
It's all you see.
Ivy nearly got the steal. He's got to watch Christie, though. Bingham the screen. Hunter went around it, and so did Christie. Edey came over, and now Ethan Morton and Purdue on the flip trip. He finds Ivy for Edey, and he can't score. Christie leaks out, and Christie got a stop.
The resistance by Bingham saves a bucket. Now you get off to the races, and Michigan State continues to thrive out in transition.
Spartans have lost 5 of 6 at 9-7 in the Big Ten, looking for another signature win. Morton pops it into the post. Bingham against Edey again. 1-on-1. Help from Christie didn't do anything, and Edey got 2. Malik Hall scoreless in the second half. Just a couple of points today for Hall. Into the corner. That's an open look, and it's Gabe Brown who missed it for 3. And oh my goodness, that is Purdue basketball. I thought that was off of the Boilermakers.
I did too.
Bullet down low. Here is Edey, and he wanted the foul, and he got it. Marble got tangled with him, and that's the 3rd on Julius Marble.
I think it is important. We looked in that break at that out-of-bounds call where we thought it was off of Zach Edey, and it certainly did hit his hand, but then it looked like it redirected off Marcus Bingham's hand. So it was a bang-bang call. But after looking at it the second time, we both agreed that DJ Carstensen got it right.
And that's a really tough call to make real time, and he nailed it. So good job by DJ. Christie got bumped and fouled. Christie sees Jaden Ivey at this point and wants to take him to the rim.
That's an aggressive take, and we've seen him certainly shoot a ton of jumpers through this stretch where he's been struggling. I like the fact that Max Christie attacking the basket. They're going to call it on the floor, I guess. Oh, wow.
I didn't even think that would expand the definition of continuation.
So they're going to get him for the initial bump, is what DJ Carstensen just said. He looked over and said we got him for the bump before the shot.
Malik Hall pancaked by Edey, and then Marble gets the contact from Edey, who was just trying to play whack-a-mole with every shot down there.
Julius Marble, just right place, right time. This ball gets blocked and ends up right in his lap. Now give him credit for going right back up with it.
Marble has been so good recently. 18 for his last 26 coming into today, and a massive second half so far. After he drew the third foul on Edey, he does miss the free throw. A very good free throw shooter.
The balance of Michigan State has really stood out, but what honestly stands out the most to me is Malik Hall has taken 2 shots, and it just doesn't make any sense to me, because I know he's such a talented guy, and you've had success as a team today, but still, it's just like, man, I don't understand why he has games where he takes 2 shots. And part of that, I guess, you could run more stuff for him, but a lot of it is on him. You gotta find ways, whether it's as a screener or whatever, or even in the post. Like Mason Gillis took him away early. You can't allow that to happen. But he has got to be more of a factor on the offensive end.
Gillis was wide open. He missed the 3.
Malik Hall fell down. He's trying to get back out. That's a break for Michigan State.
Christie gave it up. He had the possibility of driving from the wing on Ivey. Marble had a notion. This is Hall. Here's his shot, and it's no good for 3.
He needs to take that every time he gets it. And it's an open shot. That's one that you'll need Malik Hall shooting.
Ivey a meteor into the front court. Gillis maybe declined after the miss on the last possession.
Pretty good transition defense, so they were able to get out and give him something to think about.
Edey in slow motion, but so effective.
I mean, when you're 7'4", it doesn't have to be fast. He just took his time. That was like a glacial movement as he went right through Julius Marble.
It's an ice flow in the ocean. Hogard didn't want to take the 3 halfway through the shot clock. Suddenly Purdue again is back within 3 against Michigan State, which has been very crisp today.
Hung in there because it feels like Michigan State has played so well. Now that's a great offensive possession. And again, you just can't get it to go. But what a pass and what a decision by Gabe Brown.
Got the flyby, saw the open man, and now Jaden Ivey against Christie. Ooh, Stefanovic saw an opening for a moment. Ivey and Christie. To the corner it goes. Hunter no for 3.
Both teams with opportunities from 3, and they just both haven't been able to capitalize. That's an open shot for Eric Hunter off Jaden Ivey's penetration.
Rob, Purdue is 1 for 8 from 3. So rare. Christie in the corner, no dice.
It's just open shots galore.
It's a carnival game right now, and you never win the stuffed animal.
The carnival rims are out here too.
That's right. Stefanovic and Brown. He wants to. He got an opening. Air ball. Michigan State will have it.
It's been a terrific crowd, which you knew it would be here at the Breslin Center. One of the best atmospheres in the country, and both these teams fortunate to have such a home environment that they do.
15,000 to the brim here. Oh, no way! Bingham reaching over his head for Thunder.
That's an incredible catch by Marcus Bingham. Eric Hunter has got to be in. He's guarding A.J. Hogard. And when you're out camping, you are asking to get dunked on. He's way outside the lane.
Spartans by 5. Ivey from Williams. Travion Williams. Yes, it was, and he put it in.
Totally got Marcus Bingham up in the air, and that's Jaden Ivey coming off that handoff to make a play. But Travion Williams' head fake makes that shot. It's totally possible.
Hogard in traffic, did get out of the gridlock. Christie wants it, and he wants to take Ivey. Hogard and Hunter off the screen from Bingham. He did not roll. It's Hogard by himself, and he missed it. And the rebound down for Gillis and Purdue. Again, down 3.
But basically, Travion Williams just switching that ball screen. Eric Hunter really behind, but he stayed in front and he stayed vertical.
What do you want here from Purdue?
I would assume it's going to be Jaden Ivey getting downhill.
Tough catch for Travion Williams. He's going to back in. Williams rolled it down.
And that was really well defended by Marcus Bingham, and just like that, Purdue was within one.
And a timeout, Tom Izzo.
Boy, 2 minutes to go. Where are you going?
We'll find out together in a one-point game. Hunter went with Bingham for a moment, then faded back to Hogard. A.J. Hogard piercing the lane, and he scores, and a foul. A.J. Hogard misses the free throw, and suddenly again, Purdue within 3 has the ball and 1 shot away, although they've only made 1 3 all game for the second best shooting team in the country. That's a goaltend. And there's frustration for Bingham because he knew what he had done just as he slapped the ball.
That being said, it was a heck of a screen. Max Christie just gets totally picked off, and it's one of those things where that had just hit the backboard, and he takes it right off. It's a good call.
It even looked like he tried to pull his hand back while he was doing it. Moving down to 90 seconds to go, Purdue controls its own destiny to win the Big Ten. 3 wins, and they take it. Hunter got moved by Bingham. This is Bingham up top for 3. Oh, Gillis just hugged him. That's a foul on Mason Gillis. Just embracing Malik Hall, and it's a good call, and that's all for Gillis.
I'm just not sure why Mason Gillis just didn't go get the ball. He's saying it. He's telling Matt Painter that he was held. And they're blocking each other out. Ball goes up. No, that's a good call. I don't know why Mason Gillis. The initial one fine, but you've got a release there.
Karstensen did confirm that it's just a common foul, and so Michigan State will have it back.
They are really putting the ball in A.J. Hogard's hands and just saying, go make a play for us.
Sizing up Morton. Hogard goes left. Hogard to the right hand. No, and the rebound batted around to the end line and saved by Hunter for Purdue with under a minute to go.
How about Ethan Morton staying down on multiple shot fakes and getting a quality contest?
And this is a block. It's a block on Christie, and this will be a 1-and-1 for Jaden Ivey, who launched his body toward Christie, but Christie didn't give him enough room.
He's trying to cross over to get that right, and once that hand goes out, I think it's the right call.
Had there not been the initial...
Had it been through the chest, yes, I'm with it, but when that arm is out, that's going to be a block.
Staring into the brass section, Ivey got the first. It's a tie ball game, and we have a whistle.
They called a foul on Zach Edey.
On Edey, yes, that's right. So that's number 4 on Edey, who says, what did I do? And it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Michigan State.
This shot goes up. It's going to be Julius Marble with the block out. They're just tied up, and boy, you could maybe make it. It's interesting hook and hold situation, but if you're Zach Edey, why?
That's good. The junior from Dallas, Julius Marble III. 2 for 2. Matt Painter has 1 timeout. Tom Izzo has 2. Everyone standing. Ivey down the lane, got affected by the defense, and this will go immediately to the monitor to check and see whose basketball it is. This is Purdue basketball. And there's the final timeout for the Boilermakers. They do get it in. It is Ivey roving from the corner. Dumps it away. Williams left it short. His follow swirls down.
Boy, what a play by Jaden Ivey to get that basketball
Hogard standing up. Tom Izzo does have two timeouts. And there goes the timeout with 16.1. Hogard still on the bench. Down to 6 seconds. Walker under 4. Walker fires. He got it! Tyson Walker's first second-half bucket could be the game winner. 15,000 standing. Trevion Williams to launch.
Oh, wow.
And that is just about that.
Whoa.
And maybe they don't. This is going to end up out of bounds. This is out of bounds. Larry Scarato, I believe, says this will be
Why did he throw it that way?
I mean, if this is out of bounds untouched, Purdue will inbound it from the front court with some time remaining, and maybe 0.4 if that ball.
Which would be enough time to catch and shoot.
That's exactly right.
Oh, wow.
And it hits Malik Hall